What is up, everyone? Welcome to another edition of Lab Locks presented by Scores and Odds. If you haven't checked it out already, just making bad life choices, going over to scoresandodds.com where you got picks from me, Meansy, Tina. All the greats supposed to get access to our nice little prop shopping tool where you can see exactly what we have project for each individual prop, plus where the best lines are at, and most importantly, get access to Grant's Action Lounge. What is Grant's Action Lounge? Well, it's my Discord where I'm throwing in all my picks each and every day. Just go to scoresandodds.com/Discord. Throw it in the chat right now. We got baseball. We got basketball. Been doing pretty well the last few days. Had a mediocre day yesterday because barely had any picks, but we got picks today. Let's go and get started off with basketball. I'm starting off with LeBron James under 26.5 points, minus 110 over at MGM. The next closest line is, let's see, LeBron. Next closest line is minus 125. Actually, wow, it's moving. Still I'm at 25.5, minus 115 on the under over at FanDuel. Yeah, this line really moved. But LeBron, really simple. He has not been doing a ton. Not been doing a ton so far in the playoffs in terms of scoring, kind of just distributing and being a beast on the boards and doing other things. But yeah, looking at his total, 22 points per game so far this series. Hit the over in this just one time. He has too many other guys on the court that can score now. He has Davis, he has Russell, he has Reeves, he has Beasley, he has Hachimura, he has guys. That's basically the end of it. He has guys that can score, so he doesn't have to do as much. Still absolutely crushing, playing fantastic, but the points have not been there. Had 20 boards the last game or 2 games ago. Has been averaging a double double or over a double double. So been really solid. Really like James in this spot to hit the under. The number's just too high. John Morant under 28.5 points, minus 116 over at Bet Rivers. Morant has been a little bit up and down, has not scored in the 20s at all a single time in the series, either below 20 or over 30 in every single game. Had 31 in the last game, had one 45-point game, but that was kind of a weird one. He had all the points pretty much in the entire fourth quarter. Morant, we have project for 25.78 points in this spot over at Roto Grinders. I'm rolling with the under. Wiggins, over 18.5 points, minus 108 Caesars. Over 19.5 points, plus 120 over at Betfred. I hit the alt line just because Betfred's odds were way better, in my opinion. Wiggins, been very solid. Very solid. Has not had less than 17 in any game so far this series, averaging over 20 or averaging 19.4. Been right around that 20-point mark, but he's hit the over this number in 3 out of the 5 games so far, missing the 2 games where he didn't hit by 1 point and 1.5 point, or half point by the hook rather, and 1.5 points. But yeah, overall, Wiggins, it's too low of a line. He's been doing great, averaging 15.8 shot attempts per game. Really like him. That's it for basketball. Let's get to some baseball. Starting off with some home run bets here. Tyler O'Neill hit a bomb plus 650 going up against May. May, while he's not giving up a ton of hard contact or anything, still giving up around 1 home run per 9 since the beginning of last season against righties. Big ground ball guy, but it throws the ball with some heat. 97.56 miles an hour. Don't know if O'Neill will be in the lineup, but I took it at DK, so it really doesn't matter. DK, let me get $5.76 on this bet. Hooray, DraftKings. Thank you so much for that. But May, yeah, he is he's a decent pitcher, but he'll give up some home runs. On the other side, Betts plus 500 at home run over at DraftKings. Betts has some decent pop, goes up against Flaherty. Flaherty giving up a decent amount of fly balls, 36.5%, but a lot of hard contact, 37.8%. Has not given up a ton of power to opposing righties, but the underlying numbers show that he probably should. Granted, he doesn't walk a lot of guys. That's not great, but he's been up and down so far this season, giving up some power. I'm rolling with Betts. Kelnick to hit a home run. One of my favorite. I'm hitting Kelnick all over the place. I had Kelnick to hit a home run, plus 550 over at Bet Rivers. Kelnick over 1.5 total bases, plus 170 Bet Rivers, and plus 155 over at FanDuel. And then just to get a hit, minus 149 over at Caesars. I love all of them. I love Kelnick today. Kelnick has just been ridiculously good. Let's see, Jared Kelnick, Fangraphs. Pulling this up here. Looking at his numbers right here. Goes up against Manoah. Manoah, solid pitcher. Way better versus righties and lefties. You look at the difference here. Main reason, slider is absolutely fantastic. Great slider. but that's more of an out pitch for righties going up against lefties. Not the same numbers. ISO has been a little bit suppressed, but looking at the underlying numbers, fly ball numbers great, hard contact numbers solid. Playing over in Toronto, playing in Doma this time of year is pretty good. Looking at the 2023 numbers, Kelenic 345 ISO, 399 WOBA. Is striking out a decent clip, but Manoah isn't striking anyone out, especially lefties so far this season. Going back to last season, does not strike out lefties at a huge clip. Hard contact rate 51% for Kelenic, absolutely fantastic. Looking at the numbers here, 7 home runs. He's had 3 in the last 5 days. 88 plate appearances, batting .316. Guy has been just so good so far. 354 ISO, as I said. Overall, against lefties, right around, or against righties, right around that. He's been so good. I love Kelenic today. And again, it's just I'm not blindly betting him every single day. It's the odds are not changing to what they should be. I mean, I get that he struggled in the majors so far in his career, but his minor league numbers have been great. AAA last season when he got demoted, he had close to 400 WOBA, 123 WRC plus. ISO was pretty solid. Where is it? 261. Minors the season before, 304 ISO, 143 WRC plus, 414 WOBA. Year before, or 2 years before, I guess, he was crushing the minors. He's been absolutely fantastic so far in the minors. Just every single time he comes up to the majors, he regresses. Now he's actually looking like the player we thought he would be coming out of the minor leagues. He's been so good, batting third in the over on the road team. So you're getting that 9th inning at bat potentially. Really like it. Merrill Kelly under 4.5 strikeouts, -105. He's hit the under in this in 4 out of the last 5 games, 3 out of the last 5 games, all the games this season. Playing in Colorado, obviously. Colorado, not a pitcher-friendly place, just sitting at 23% K rate so far this season. Going back to the beginning of last season, 22.1, so pretty much the same. Playing over in Colorado is not good for pitch hitters. It's especially not good when his out pitch is a curveball. One of his out pitches is a curveball. Has the highest whiff rate outside of his changeup. Obviously, he'll still have that changeup, but curveballs in Colorado, not the same as other places. Lower density because of the altitude makes it so that it's not going to break as much. So I'm rolling with it under on that. Framber over 18.5 outs, +133 at Caesars. Why it's at +133, I have no idea. For Valdez, he's been great. 3 out of the last 5 games. Yep, 3 out of the last 5 games. He's hit the over on this number, hitting it pretty consistently last year. One of the most efficient pitchers in the league. Great ground ball stuff, decent K stuff. He's actually been really good so far this season. I'll go ahead and pull it up. He's been even better than he was last season this year, I believe. Not Nola. There we go. Framber. Yeah, been spectacular this season. Not walking anyone. The best ground ball pitcher in the league. Pure and simple. He's been so good. Going up against the Phillies. They're decent, but not really great versus lefties. I think he goes over this. Again, like I said, he's going over it fairly often. Over 6 innings is a lot to ask, but game +133 odds and being the guy that's outside of Alcantara goes later in pretty much every single game. David Peterson over 5.5 strikeouts, -121 over at Caesars. Peterson been pretty solid this year. So the over at this number, he's had at least 5, I think, every single game this season. At least 5 in every single game. Hit the over in 3 straight games. Pitch count has been solid, even in tough matchups, going up against Dodgers, going up against the Padres. He's hit the over. Don't even look at that. Peterson, very solid so far this season. 26% K rate. Going up against Atlanta. Atlanta, very solid hitting team, but they still have a decent amount of Ks in there. I mean, we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 high K bats going up against lefties. Peterson probably going to be at least facing 2 lefties in Olsen and Harris, which he strikes out at a big clip. Like the over. And that's it. That's the show. I think that's all the bets I got. Be throwing more in later. I'll be back Monday. Same time, same place. We're there. Later, kids.